For the first segment, we have a very young guest who has recently graduated from University of Cambridge, and I'm joined today by Sharafiab Chowdhury. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
You're very welcome. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I've graduated just last month.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm starting work in a month's time, so I've just been enjoying my last summer holidays.
Impressive. That's good. I mean, the summer holidays will go very quickly, so do be sure to enjoy that. But of course, going into your graduation, so how did you go about, of course, choosing the subject that you choose? I understand you graduated in, was it engineering?
Engineering, yes.
So tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, so I specialise in civil and structural engineering. So I guess from the start, in the Cambridge course in particular and the Oxford course, the first 2 years are not specialised, so you do all types of engineering, electronics, structural, thermofluids, all sorts. And then in third and fourth, you specialise. And I think that's quite a unique thing about the Oxbridge course structure, and I think that's quite a good point as well. Because, for example, the reason I chose engineering, to answer your question, was because I was quite good at maths and physics in school, and I thought, I want to sort of do something with this in the real world.
Was it something that inspired you as a young child? Of course, you are good at math and you're, of course, good at physics, no doubt. But is there something that you came across when you were young and it was like, you know what, I'm going to be that engineer? Was there a story, anything you saw that particularly reached out to you?
I think just in general, the sort of feeling of wanting to do something with engineering, and obviously I saw a lot of engineer things. The funny thing, initially I wanted to be an aerospace engineer because I liked the idea of planes.
Okay.
And so I thought about that. I read some books about planes and I saw how the engineers sort of worked, and I thought that was quite interesting. Okay,
so then what made you do that switch then?
Yeah, so first 2 years you do every type, and electronics doing like thermofluids, which is what you need for aerospace. I didn't really like, but structural I did like, and that's more about buildings and the sort of like the maths of how buildings stand up, and that was interesting to me. It's something that I really clicked with, sort of. So in my third and fourth year, when it was time for me to choose, I chose the structural engineering modules and civil engineering modules, and I'll be working as a structural engineer.
So, of course, I understand you've done your undergraduate and now you've also done your master's. So how did you go about taking that journey on? So you finished your A-levels, I assume.
Yeah.
So then what made you choose University of Cambridge? Of course, we all know University of Cambridge is great, of course, no doubt. But why? Why was that the decision you made?
I think the first thing is that, it's obviously a very good university.
Yes.
Obviously, you hear a lot about it. I think as well, I went to the open day and I was quite impressed with what I saw. Obviously, I went to quite a few open days in a number of universities. And obviously in Cambridge, you see sort of the professors and how they are. And the sort of lab equipment, for example, and how the course works. And it was all quite interesting to me. It's something I really wanted to, get into, and alhamdulillah, I managed to get into it.
Alhamdulillah, no, and congratulations. I mean, it's a big achievement on its own. So when you were at the university, what was the support like? What was available?
Yeah, so basically in Cambridge, I'm sure many people have heard about the colleges in Cambridge, and the way it works, I'll try to explain, it's quite complicated in a way. But as far as the students are concerned, you're supported by your college, so you have your your tutor, who's like your pastoral support if you have any personal issues. You have your Director of Studies, which is for academic support, so you have 2 layers of support there. And you have in the college really just to support you in as many ways as possible. You also have a chaplain, for example, for any religious needs. Even if they're Christian, ours was Christian, but they helped the Muslim community in our college quite a bit, like with for prayer room, for example.
Okay.
So.
And what was it like being, a Bangladeshi on the campus? Did you meet with other Bangladeshis? What was it like on your course?
Yeah, so I'd say that with the cultural communities are quite strong in Cambridge.
Yes.
For the Bangladeshi community, there's the Bangla Society.
Okay.
I was actually president of the Bangla Society 2 years ago. We had a lot of fun events for the Bengali community. We had formal dinners for the Bengali students. We had an International Mother Language Day event where we had students sing recite Bangla poetry. I think, and that was quite interesting. And obviously every year there's a new president, and they hold events like that as well. So,
no, of course, it's quite interesting. I mean, with universities, it's great to stay in touch with your roots, of course. And, when you identify as a Bangladeshi, being able to know what's going on in Bangladesh as well as learning about the events and the other cultures around it is great. So then, of course, you've graduated. How did you go about finding the role that you're going to be looking forward to in September? So how did you go about finding that job? What was the support like from university? Did you have a mentor? What was that like?
Yeah, so the university, as for engineering, it's obviously by your department, your course varies. But for engineering, there is a team there to support your to help you find a career.
Yes.
So obviously throughout the course, in the summers you try and find internships. So that's sort of like preparation in a way.
Okay.
And you can send your CV to someone on the team. and they can give you feedback. There's also a career service, and
Okay,
they have
great.
they all have advice and resources online for you. And there's careers fairs. Obviously, the companies come to Cambridge because they want Cambridge graduates. So I think there is quite a bit of support available. But I think the key thing is the people in Cambridge as well. Like, if you meet with your community, that people are very helpful. That people are always willing to help in Cambridge.
Yes. Talking about the role that you're at right now, so what's the company like? How did you go about it? How did you make that choice?
Yeah.
Like, I want to work with you guys right after I've graduated.
Yeah, so the company's called Mott MacDonald, and they're quite a big major civil consultancy in the UK and globally, really. And there's quite a few of these sorts of companies where they do like structural design of different types of buildings, and also like other sort of advisory roles on different projects. And for that, I mean, first, they're based in Cambridge as well, so there's quite a few based in Cambridge.
Plus point.
Yeah, there's a number based in Cambridge, so they're quite easy to meet in careers fairs, to talk. And also, I've heard that Mott MacDonald in particular, they have like a quite good work culture. So,
Oh, great. I think I'm quite interested in learning. Of course, during your graduation, during your undergraduate years and your masters, was there anything that you did in particular that helped you to get that job? Was there some experiences that you did outside of the university, or was there a job that you did? Because I find it's quite challenging to get a job straight after graduation. Like, how are you supposed to show what it's a beginning job? Like, how am I supposed to stand out?
Yeah.
So how did you go about it?
Yeah, so I think so in university during term time I did some extracurricular stuff. For example, like being president of the Bangla Society.
Yes.
So because in Cambridge there's a lot of like opportunities for like working on committees. Like
Yes.
the Islamic Society is one of the biggest societies of student organisations in the university, and they have committees and subcommittees. So you can really like sort of show employers that you can work in a team and do things like that. And also, like I said, with internships, you can try and find them in the summer, and those are really good for like other applications as well, because you've gained experience in the field.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So, what do you look forward to in your new job? What is it that you're going to be doing? What's the exciting stuff?
Yeah, so as a structural engineer, I'll be designing many different types of buildings. I know at my company they do like everything from apartment buildings, stadiums, school buildings, quite a few. So yeah, I'll be sort of like in the sort of like mathematical design of it to make sure that they stand up, like what sort of like materials to choose and that sort of thing. And it's sort of like, for me that's exciting because in the actual detail of it, in the detail of the building, how to make sure it works and how like make sure it's like environmentally friendly and how
we
make
do
sure
need
it's
that.
efficient. Yeah.
I live in a building. I definitely need those buildings to be safe and or environmentally friendly and everything. But what would be an advice that you'd give to those watching, of course, if they want to go into this route of engineering, whether it be aerospace engineering or whether it's just civil engineering as a whole? Like, what would you advise them?
For engineering, I'd say just first of all, you be good at maths and physics. Work hard on that in school. I think also say for Cambridge as well. I think just doing research on like what the course requires, because I know, like for example, it needs a further maths A level, almost is basically almost a requirement. So I knew that before I picked my A level, so that was good to know. So the stuff like just doing your research into what engineering like entails, because online there is quite a lot of resources.
Of course.
On
and if there's something you could say to yourself, your young self, what would you do differently?
I guess just worry less, because there's a lot of there's a lot of like pressure you have as a student, especially an Asian student, and but I think as long as you put your best foot forward, and also with Cambridge, the way it works, like with your interview, for example, they sort of like want to see how you learn as well, and if you're suited towards Cambridge. So even if you don't get your opportunity, then maybe that just means there's another opportunity that's better for you. So maybe a different university.
No,
so I think it's also set up that you if you work hard, you will get something that's suited for you.
No, of course, and inshallah, I mean, congratulations again on graduating and of course the new job. You've all heard that, of course, if you put your best foot out, then you will reach great results. And of course, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you
really appreciate it.